Hello to all of my wonderful Leos. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with a very special reading on today. Today is November the 10th, but we're going to talk about November 11th, which is tomorrow. So I'm going to come back and talk about the 10th because the 0 is the God number, right? And I want to talk about the 0 and 10. And because it's going to bring us back to 1 and what that 0 means with the 10. And also I'm going to come back to 9 because that's a regenerative number. We're going to talk in depth about the number 9. So I'm going to break those videos up. And then any other numbers that I intentionally skipped over so that I can get to number 11. To get to this particular video for 1111. The number 11 really is, it's a channel that prepares. When you look at these, I'm going to cut these cards for a second and just like represent this is number 11. So together it's number 1. So when we separate it, it's 11, right? These two, this is how the 11 is grounded. When we look at the number 11 actually being a portal, a gateway to get information through to you, you're here, right? In between this one and this one, right? And so number 11 adds up to, in the Pythagorean system, number 11 actually adds up to light. We're trying to get light in here to you. So think of it this way. So here you are in between light and dark, masculine and feminine, seen and unseen, known and unknown, and then all other opposites, right? Opposites attracting into one body. Right? This is you, the one body, the whole person. Even though you are of divine masculine duality, Leos, by default, your sun sign is Leo, divine masculine. You also have the ability to tap into your divine feminine, which to nurture yourself. Because we know that you all are givers. That's your divine masculine just taking over. No matter what, you are the givers. No matter how hard you try not to give, you're givers. Right? Not only that, your energy is projected outward. So you show your action through strength, you show your strength, through your actions. And so for divine feminine energies or dualities, they show their strength through inner reserve. And so you know how to tap into both of those to become one, right? A lot of you all have mastered tapping into both to become one. But the number 11 represents double new beginnings. Remember I talked about the number 1 representing new beginnings. It represents free will. It represents leadership and all those wonderful things. But the number 11, because it's double, it represents double new beginnings and enlightened leadership, right? So like I said, it represents light and dark, good and evil, masculine and feminine, seen and unseen, all these other wonderful things, right, Leo? All of which we all embody, right? Some people have not mastered being able to tap into both and not being able to use both. But what's interesting about the Leo is that you all, your ruling planet, and we know it's not a planet, it's actually a luminary, is the sun. And look how important you all are. I mean, really, just really how important. I talk about your characteristics whenever I post videos for you all. But really, this is how important the sun is. The sun actually gives us life. It gives us warmth. It gives us energy. It gives us food. That's just how important Leos are, because again, your ruling sign is, or your ruling planet is the sun. So the sun really is our most important planet, right? Even though we know that it's not an actual planet, is actually a luminary. But from our viewpoint here on Earth, the sun travels around the Earth once a year. And so within the space of that 1 year, the sun moves through all 12 signs of the Zodiac. So that's how important the sun is, right? And so it spends approximately 1 month in each sign. And so that sign, when that sign actually travels through the time of your birth, that's why it's the sun sign, right? So that is why you all are so important, having the sun. And so your sun sign actually really kind of sort of determines your general character. So when people are asking what your sign is, they're not asking what your Jupiter is. They're not saying what's your moon sign. I mean, unless you're an astrologer. They're not asking, what's your Venus. Like, they're not asking about planetary placements. When somebody says, what's your sign? They're asking about your sun sign, which is your ruling planet, meaning your luminary, right? Not only that, here's some benefits of the sun, benefits of you, which we know for Leos, all you have to do is walk in a room and people are just kind of like, wow, who is that? It must be a Leo, right? Because you all have this light and shine inside of you that just shines so brightly no matter where you all are. But the sunlight, your ruling planet, your ruling luminary, helps reduce stress. It maintains strong bones. It helps keep weight off in some instances. It strengthens your immune system. It fights off depression by increasing the serotonin in your brain, which is associated with improved mood and some other things, right? So there's so many benefits to being a Leo, so it's really not funny. Let's get into your reading. Most High God in the universe, please give me a special reading for my wonderful Leos as it relates to all areas of their lives, specifically in areas of power and intellect, also in areas of spirituality and where they need to take action, also in areas of money and wealth, also in areas of creativity and emotion. What information do we have for my wonderful Leos? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. This is for 11/11. We're going to double back and do some of the other dates. But this reading is for 11/11. Yes. 11 is very, very powerful. Not only that, what I want to share with you all too is that when you don't balance out those two energies, that divine masculine, that divine feminine, when you absolutely refuse to see both sides and really listen and understand to both sides of your duality, divine masculine, divine feminine, you're actually preventing yourself from rebalancing your energies, right? Because again, by default, you all are divine masculine, right? So if you don't take the time to activate and understand and listen to the divine feminine within you, you're out of balance, right? And so it's hard to understand other people who are, their default is divine feminine because you're operating only on one side, just your divine masculine. So let's get into your reading and see what these cards have to say. So it's in everybody's best interest to really tap into both sides because we all have it within us. You know, it's not that anybody really needs anybody. It's that, excuse me, we're all interconnected. So it should be a privilege and honor to be in the presence of a Leo. Yes. So like I said, Leos. All right. So you all have, oh my gosh. Wow. So let's put this right here. Here's this hangman, right? Make sure your patience, right? Kind of suspended here. So it's obvious that you all have been in the presence of people who have a lot of internal conflict, right? For some reason they cannot stand your light, and that's their problem, right? So they've been causing all kinds of stress, strain, and struggle and problems for you. But see how this, okay, let me put this one in front of this one so you can see. See how this person is kind of like stressed, anxiety ridden, probably crying. And then you have the birds flying above, freedom, right? These represent freedom. This one represents ascension, right? You don't necessarily have to be like this in this situation where you're dealing with people who are just determined. These people are right in your element, fire element, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. They could also have Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra in their chart as well, or you could have that in your chart. But when you allow people to stay in your space, your energy space for a little bit too long, Leo, they can actually contaminate you because you allow them to stay in your space. So it's best to let these types of people drop off, even if you look like this, right? Best to let them drop off, fall off, so that you're not like this, right? Once you let these people fall off, because some of you all are at the tail end of some of these like long and arduous relationships. Some of you all have been in arguments with people because you want to start your own business. You've been wanting to start your own business. And so a lot of you all are entrepreneurs. Yes, entrepreneurs wanting to start your own business. You all are visionaries. You have been thinking about, I need to start my own business. And I just can't stay at this place of work. And people around me are not supporting me, whether it's in my family, not supporting my business. I'm working with people who are just, okay, what's a nice word to call them? They're just lost. Okay, they're just lost. That's a nice word of calling them. They're just lost, and so it's time for me to go ahead and start my own business. It's really time for me to start my own business and stop dealing with this kind of low vibration energy. This low vibration energy. So when I talk about this type of low vibration energy causing you to vibrate low, these are people who are selfish, attention seeking, who lack patience, who have outbursts of anger, who are domineering, jealous, competitive, brutal, boastful, careless, very impatient. These types of people that you've been in the company of who cause you to be like this. Make you almost feel powerless, right? But we know that's not going to last for long. You got to recognize the sun, who you are, the sun in you, okay? You gained a lot of wisdom on this journey. You really, really have. And it's about to come to an end if it hasn't already come to an end. Remember, your planet never goes retrograde. So therefore, you're just going to continue just walking in your greatness unapologetically, right? And then here we go. Quick progression. Listen, a lot of things are happening. We have, speaking of, I want to show you something. Speaking of this right here, people with internal issues and problems. So right now, Aries ruling planet is retrograde right now. And so some of the messages that I've been sharing with Aries is to push through their emotions. Because some Aries have been having a really, really difficult time pushing through their emotions. There's a great deal of Aries that's doing very well. But there are some Aries that have been really struggling with their emotions. And so if you work with an Aries who has kind of been, you all have been having some problems, just keep that in mind, that they're really trying to push through their emotions right now. Their ruling planet Mars is still retrograde, and it's retrograde for another, I want to say 3 days or so. And so if you've been experiencing some problems with an Aries in particular, right there in your element of fire sign, that is why. Okay, just want you to know. Because again, your planet never goes retrograde. And so when a person when they don't know they don't understand their power fully, how to tap into their divine feminine and nurture themselves, it's always going to cause you friction and problems. Just want you to know that. But you probably already know that. Yes. Yep. I see some of you all leaving that situation and never looking back. Like this is a turning point for a lot of you all, leaving that situation and never looking back. So I could go deeper because the Ten of Swords means a whole lot of things. One being a turning point. You're like, I'm walking towards my freedom and I'm not looking back. So you could have experienced something like being stabbed in the back. Of course, we're talking about figuratively speaking. You could have experienced somebody tossing you on the bus, somebody just seriously betraying you. And you're like, I need to make some decisions and I'm choosing me. Yes. Love it. No more like this. You chose to do this. Walk away. So no more like this. You chose this. I'm going to walk away from this situation and I'm choosing me, right? So a lot of you all have chosen to say, I'm going to start my own business. I'm an entrepreneur. I know how to do it. I'm just going to do it, right? Some of you all have decided to end relationships. And a relationship could be a love romantic relationship, or it could be a love platonic relationship, right? Or it could just be a professional relationship. But this right here for you is duality. You deciding, you know what, I'm going to tap into my divine feminine energy, choose me, and I'm going on, and I'm a whole person. Remember I said balancing out those energies for you. You've balanced out your energy. You know exactly who you are. You are moving forward. Here we go, balance. The scales are balanced in your spirit, right? That's right. So you've tapped into those sides very, very well, right? You are this justice card is attached to the Libra. They're very diplomatic signs, right? Don't like a whole bunch of drama. Don't like a whole bunch of this, that, and the other. And then this Lovers is Gemini, the twins. Yes. So here we go with the Hierophant. So a lot of you all have experienced a lot of issues, in the workplace. And you see what's clear. You like, you know what? I can start my own business. Yep. Duality. I choose me. I choose me. I'm moving forward. I'm not looking back. Yep. Not looking back. And we have the Judgment card, right? So the Judgment card is you ascending higher. You're making the decision to ascend higher. Now, what's interesting about this is this tower moment. You having a very quick revelation that, you know what? I now see things very, very clear. This is you ascending, right? This is you ascending. I want to double back for a second and talk about Aries for a second. So yeah, this is you deciding to ascend, and you've gotten these revelations real quick, just abruptly, right? So what's interesting is, remember I said Aries ruling planet is retrograde right now, and so a lot of them are pushing through their emotions. So not only that, see, there are multiple people here, right? There are multiple people in this picture. These people in this picture, I'm not talking about a low vibrating Aries. I want to be very, very clear, because a low vibrating Aries and a Leo vibrating high would do very, very well together. I'm talking about all low vibration energy here. This is all low vibrating energy, exhibiting the same characteristics that I said before. Selfish, attention seeking, outburst of anger, impulsive behavior, lack of patience, inflexible, lazy, dogmatic and prideful, jealous, competitive, boastful, careless, impatient, all these things. This is what these people are right here, okay? So we're not talking about a high vibrating Aries at all. I'm talking about an Aries that is vibrating at a low frequency, and there could be other people around. It could be an Aries, it could be another Sagittarius, it could be another Leo, it could be another any fire sign, or that person could have it somewhere in their birth chart, but they have chosen to vibrate low and try to drag you down with them. Good luck. Yeah. They thought they succeeded because by putting you in this position, but they didn't succeed because you decide, I'm going to choose me. I'm going to choose me, and I'm going to move on. Those people, these people right here, who are vibrating at a low frequency, who chose to try to drag you down with them, are experiencing their tower moment right now. You got out just in time. This is protection from the universe, right? This is you. These tears, you've cried your last tear. You've ascended, and you decided to choose you and move on, and you jumped out of a sinking boat. Because this is destruction for them. For these people right here, destruction. Yes. Again, there are many, many benefits in opening up and receiving from that portal, that gateway that's trying to get information through to you. Many, many benefits. Not for them, because they chose to vibrate at a low frequency and try to attack you, but they are having their tower moment right now. The universe saved you from that sinking ship just in time, but it wasn't by coincidence. It's because you chose to vibrate higher. That's why. It held off until you vibrated higher, and now the ship is sinking. It's really, really not funny, Leo. It really isn't, because they could have chose something different, right? Besides trying to attack your character, not realizing just how powerful you really are, especially since your luminary is the sun, right? Have a great one. Bye. Happy 11/11.